The word railgun, or railgun, until recently was known only to fans of computer games and science fiction films. However, with the development of science and technology, what was science fiction yesterday, today you can already see, as they say, with your own eyes. What is a railgun in general? The term railgun itself was coined in the 1950s by the Soviet scientist academician L. Artsimovich, who was a world expert in the field of thermonuclear physics and high-temperature plasma physics. The railgun is an electromagnetic mass accelerator.
Subscribe to the channel, it will be more interesting. Thank you in advance.
Well, or from the point of view of the military, bullets and shells, another name for it is an electromagnetic gun, EMF. True, it is still far from accelerating bullets. No one has yet succeeded in building a railgun as light small arms, but it is quite realistic to create a railgun that can arm a ship or tank. The United States is currently the leader in this field. In their experiments on the creation of electromagnetic weapons, American designers use a special-shaped shoe in which a projectile is fixed, flying along guide rails. Fight for weight. The railgun projectile is made of refractory tungsten, because due to the high density of this metal, a small but very heavy projectile can be made. And this, in turn, will allow you to place more ammunition in shell magazines. The projectile itself has a conical elongated shape with a slight blunting of the nose and is, in fact, a pointed rod. In the tail section there is a stabilizer that allows you to keep the projectile on the flight path. This shape is required in order to enable the projectile to fly at hypersonic speeds. However, this feature is also one of the main problems for the engineers of this weapon. The second difficulty that the designers faced was the development of a powerful power supply system in the form of unipolar generators, compulsators, and megawatt ionistor capacitors. With their help, you can generate a very powerful short electrical impulse transmitted to the rails. And the main question that arises when developing a power system is its size and mass. If in experimental conditions you can get by with huge and heavy devices, then on the ship you will have to use more compact and light units. As for the land army, there the requirements for weight and size will be even stricter. So, to place an EMF on a tank chassis, it would be necessary to build a monster weighing 78 tons. American engineers found a way out in the distribution of weight between two car trailers. Such a solution was implemented in the Blitzer railgun, which was developed by General Atomics in 2011. The unit is placed on two trailers. One has a gun, the other has a power plant. Incredible power. Things were somewhat easier in the Navy. After all, on the ship you can easily find a place even for a 130-ton gun. So, for example, promising destroyers of the Zumwalt project provide for the placement of two railguns, the firing of which should be provided by an independent power plant with a capacity of at least 35 to 45 megawatts. Such a reserve of energy, according to calculations, should have been enough to ensure the acceleration of the projectile to a speed of 200,02500 mobile/s. The muzzle energy of the gun would be 64 mJ, which would provide a firing range of up to 400 kilometers. It was calculated that the kinetic impact energy from a projectile weighing 18 to 20 kilograms would be 20 mJ, which is comparable to the impact of a shock wave from a nuclear explosion. In order to understand the full power of such a weapon, it is enough to remember that a car at a speed of 160 km/h will gain energy of only 1 mJ. Land samples, as expected, had a much shorter range, only 80 to 160 kilometers, so the power plant required less power, 18 to 22 megawatts was enough. However, even a land-based projectile weighing 10 kilograms and with a muzzle energy of 32 mJ could develop a speed of 2,500 m/s and break through 3 concrete walls several meters thick. Railgun or rockets? Why, then, has a weapon with such phenomenal power not yet supplanted the rest of the weapons? The fact is that along with a number of advantages, railguns also have certain disadvantages. The first and main one is the extreme high cost and extraordinary difficulty in maintaining such an installation. You can't put a conscript soldier behind the levers of control. Here people with an academic education are more likely to be needed. In addition, a railgun projectile is, in fact, an ordinary blank that hits the enemy with a direct hit and does not have any means of guidance. It seems unlikely that such ammunition would hit, not only in a tank, but even in such a large target as a ship. It is not yet possible to make such a projectile adjustable. After all, he simply will not be able to maneuver at such speeds, he will break from the resistance of the airflow. Not surprisingly, the military so far prefers to use
Don't forget to subscribe and like.